Wait, don't scroll away yet, because something unusual is happening around your name right now. Somewhere, in a quiet room you have never seen, your soulmate's family is talking about you. Not casually. Not for a second. But deeply, emotionally, almost as if your presence has already entered their future before your footsteps ever arrive there. And the strange part? Some of them do not even understand why they feel connected to your energy already. There is a reason this message found you tonight. A reason these words crossed your path at this exact moment. Because while you were busy questioning your direction, wondering if anyone truly sees your heart, conversations about you were unfolding behind closed doors. Conversations filled with curiosity. Questions. Unexpected smiles. Long pauses. Even silence that carried meaning. One person in that family recently mentioned your qualities without realizing it. They spoke about loyalty, peace, warmth, ambition, and suddenly your soulmate became quiet. Not nervous. Not afraid. Just overwhelmed by how perfectly the description mirrored you. Pause for a moment and think about that. What if someone is already imagining you sitting at their dinner table, before you have even met them fully? You feel something shifting lately, don't you? The emotional atmosphere around your life has been changing. Little signs. Strange dreams. Random thoughts that arrive out of nowhere. A feeling that something important is approaching faster than expected. That feeling is not accidental. Because your soulmate has started speaking about you differently. Not as a possibility anymore. But as someone who feels real. And their family noticed it immediately. One evening, your name, or the idea of you, entered a conversation unexpectedly. At first it seemed small. Just a passing mention. But then the energy in the room changed. Questions followed. Curiosity expanded. Someone asked, "Who is this person you keep thinking about lately?" Another smiled quietly because they had already noticed the change in your soulmate's behavior weeks ago. Yes, they noticed. They noticed the way your soulmate stares into space sometimes now. The way their voice softens while speaking about the future. The way they suddenly care about timing, stability, healing, and becoming better. Your presence, even from afar, has already started transforming someone's life. And here is what nobody expected. The family members who were once difficult to impress are slowly becoming the most interested in hearing about you. Because authenticity has a frequency people cannot ignore forever. Your soulmate tried to hide their emotions at first. They avoided certain conversations. They changed subjects quickly whenever love was mentioned. But energy always reveals itself eventually. One relative saw straight through them and quietly said, "This person matters to you more than you admit." The room went silent after that. Not uncomfortable silence. The kind of silence that happens when truth suddenly enters the atmosphere. Stay here a little longer, because what happened next matters more than you think. An older figure in the family, someone wise, observant, hard to fool, began asking deeper questions. Not about appearance. Not about status. But about your spirit. Your values. Your heart. Your dreams. And every answer your soulmate gave carried emotion they could no longer hide. That was the moment everything subtly changed. Because families can sense temporary energy, and they can also sense destiny. And somehow, when your soulmate speaks about you, it no longer sounds temporary. It sounds like someone they were meant to find. You may not realize it yet, but your name has already entered rooms your physical presence has never touched. Your energy has already created curiosity among people who may one day become deeply connected to your story. This is why life has felt emotionally intense lately. Your future is quietly moving closer behind the scenes. But listen carefully. Not everyone in that family understands this connection yet. Some are confused by how quickly your soulmate's emotions changed. Some are surprised by how serious they suddenly sound. One person even asked, "What is so different about this one?" And your soulmate paused before answering. Because certain feelings cannot fully be explained with words. Only felt. That answer lingered in the room long after the conversation ended. You think this journey has been invisible, but it hasn't. Your impact is already unfolding in places you cannot yet see. Hearts are preparing. Minds are adjusting. Paths are rearranging themselves slowly, carefully, almost like a story being written in real time. And the most beautiful part? Your soulmate's family is not only talking about you. They are beginning to picture a future where you belong there. A strange shift happened again today, and if you could have heard the conversation for even a single second, your heart would have stopped in silence. Because this is no longer simple curiosity surrounding you. Your soulmate's family is beginning to feel your absence before you have even arrived. Think about that carefully. How can people miss someone they have never met? And yet, that is exactly the energy growing around your name. Earlier than expected, your soulmate mentioned you again. Not intentionally. It slipped out naturally during an ordinary moment. A simple conversation turned unexpectedly personal. Someone asked about future plans, and without realizing it, your soulmate answered with you hidden inside every sentence. The room noticed immediately. Not because your name was spoken loudly, but because hope entered their voice. There is something powerful about the way people speak when they finally meet a soul that calms them. Their tone changes. Their breathing changes. Even their eyes reveal things they try to hide. And lately, your soulmate has been unable to conceal what they feel whenever your energy enters the conversation. One family member laughed softly and said, "You've changed." But your soulmate did not deny it this time. That silence said more than words ever could. And then came the moment nobody expected. Someone in the family began imagining what you would actually be like in person. They started asking questions about your personality, your habits, the little things that make you different. Not out of judgment, but genuine fascination. They wanted to understand why your presence feels so important before you have even fully entered their world. You see, real connection creates ripples long before physical arrival. That is why your life has been feeling emotionally louder lately. Why certain nights feel heavy with anticipation. Why random moments suddenly feel meaningful. Energies are aligning quietly in the background while you continue living your normal routine. But nothing about this season is normal anymore. Your soulmate's family can feel that something significant is approaching. And one person there, listen carefully. One person already believes you are the answer to a prayer they never spoke aloud. You may not understand the magnitude of that yet. This connection is not being discussed like temporary excitement anymore. The conversations are becoming deeper. More serious. future-oriented. Someone even asked your soulmate what kind of life they imagine building someday, and for the first time in a long while, their answer sounded certain. Because uncertainty disappears when the heart recognizes peace. And peace is exactly what your energy brings into their life. Before you continue listening, leave a comment below and share where you're watching from, because stories like this connect souls from every corner of the world. And if these words resonate deeply with you, subscribe and stay close to this journey, because what unfolds next may explain feelings you have carried for a very long time. Now listen closely. There was another conversation after that one ended. Quieter. More private. The kind of conversation that happens late at night when honesty becomes impossible to avoid. A close family member asked your soulmate directly, "Do you really think this person could be part of your future?" And your soulmate smiled before answering. Not a loud smile. Not dramatic. Just the kind of smile people make when they finally stop running from what their heart already knows. At that moment, the atmosphere changed completely. Because everyone realized this was no passing emotion. This was becoming real. And strangely enough, some family members are already protective of you, even without meeting you yet. They can sense how much you matter. They see the emotional impact you have created. They notice how your soulmate suddenly speaks with more maturity, more patience, more emotional depth than before. Love does that sometimes. Not loud, chaotic love. But the kind that quietly transforms someone from the inside out. You are being spoken about in spaces you cannot see. Thought about during ordinary moments. Wondered about during family discussions that stretch long into the evening. Your future presence is already being imagined around tables, celebrations, plans, and memories that have not happened yet. And here is the part nobody can fully explain. Every time doubt tries to appear, something pulls the conversation back toward you again. Almost like destiny itself refuses to let your name disappear from their minds. So if life has felt strange lately, if your intuition keeps whispering that something important is moving toward you, trust that feeling. Because somewhere tonight, your soulmate is thinking about how to bring you closer into their world, while their family quietly wonders when they will finally meet the person who changed everything. Tonight, something feels different again, almost as if the distance between your world and theirs is becoming thinner by the hour. You may not see it yet. You may still believe everything is uncertain. But behind the scenes, emotional doors are opening one by one, and your soulmate's family is no longer speaking about you like a mystery. They are speaking about you like someone who is already becoming part of the story. And that changes everything. Earlier, during a simple family gathering, your soulmate became unusually quiet while everyone else was talking. At first nobody understood why. But then someone mentioned relationships, loyalty, future plans, and suddenly your energy filled the room again without your name even needing to be spoken. One person noticed the expression on your soulmate's face immediately. That look. The distant smile. The kind that appears when someone is thinking about one specific person while pretending they are not. A younger family member joked, "You're thinking about them again, aren't you?" And instead of denying it this time, your soulmate simply looked down and smiled. That tiny moment told everyone more than words ever could. Because truth has a strange way of revealing itself quietly. Now listen carefully, because this part matters deeply. There is someone in that family who has started defending you already. Isn't that unbelievable? A person who barely knows you, yet somehow feels protective of the connection. Whenever doubts or questions arise, they are the first to say, "No. I think this person is different." Different. That word has been surrounding your energy lately. Different from the past. Different from the noise. Different from everyone who came before. And your soulmate feels it more strongly every single day. You know what is truly fascinating? Families are usually cautious about emotional change. They notice patterns quickly. They recognize temporary emotions. But this situation feels unusual even to them because the transformation inside your soulmate has been impossible to ignore. They laugh differently now. They speak differently now. They even dream differently now. Your presence has awakened something hopeful inside them. And hope spreads faster than fear ever could. One late-night conversation became especially emotional. The lights were low. The atmosphere calm. Someone asked your soulmate a simple question: what is it about this person that affects you so deeply? For a moment, there was silence. Not because they lacked an answer, but because some feelings are too profound to explain perfectly. Then slowly, your soulmate said something nobody expected. They said your energy feels familiar, like peace they have been searching for without realizing it. Like home appearing in human form. Like the future suddenly becoming easier to imagine. The room became still after hearing that. Because everyone understood the seriousness behind those words. Stay with this message until the end, because there is one truth you need to hear tonight: the connection unfolding around your life is not random timing. Certain souls begin meeting emotionally before life allows them to meet physically. That is why intuition feels stronger lately. That is why signs seem louder. That is why your heart keeps sensing movement even during silence. Something is aligning. And even your soulmate's family can feel it now. One relative recently started asking practical questions about you. Questions about your goals. Your mindset. Your vision for life. They were trying to imagine how your future would blend into theirs. Not from control, but from genuine curiosity about the person who has clearly changed someone they love. Can you feel how powerful that is? Without forcing anything. Without chasing. Without proving yourself endlessly. Your energy alone has already started opening hearts. And the most beautiful part is this. Your soulmate no longer sounds afraid when talking about you. In the beginning, there was hesitation. Uncertainty. Emotional caution. But now? There is excitement hidden beneath their calm voice. Anticipation hidden inside their silence. A quiet certainty growing stronger each day. They are beginning to realize you are not just another chapter. You are the turning point. Before this message ends, remember something important. Not every meaningful connection arrives loudly. Some enter life like a whisper at first, subtle, mysterious, almost impossible to explain. But over time, the whisper becomes impossible to ignore. That is exactly what is happening now. Your soulmate's family is talking about you because your presence has already shifted the emotional future of someone they deeply care about. And somewhere tonight, while you are listening to these words, your soulmate is wondering how long it will be before your worlds finally stop feeling separate, and start becoming one story. There is something your soulmate's family has not admitted out loud yet, but the feeling is growing stronger every day. Deep down, they already sense that your arrival into their lives was never going to be ordinary. It feels timed. Almost designed. Like a missing piece slowly moving toward its place without anyone being able to stop it. And tonight, that realization became even clearer. Someone brought up your name again during a conversation that had nothing to do with love. Isn't that strange? The discussion was ordinary at first: future goals, changing seasons in life, unexpected opportunities, but somehow the energy circled back to you once more. That keeps happening. No matter how far the conversation drifts, it always returns to your presence. Because your soulmate carries your energy everywhere now, even when they try not to show it. A family member finally laughed and said, "At this point, we need to meet this person already." Everyone smiled after hearing that, but behind the laughter was genuine curiosity. Genuine anticipation. They were no longer speaking about you like a distant idea. They were speaking as if your arrival felt inevitable. And your soulmate? They did not look nervous anymore. They looked hopeful. That quiet hope changed the atmosphere of the room completely. You must understand something important: people only talk this way when they feel permanence. Temporary emotions fade quickly. Fleeting attractions disappear in silence. But when conversations about one person continue growing week after week, when emotions deepen instead of fading, it means the connection is touching something real. And your soulmate's family can feel that reality now. One person there has started imagining future memories involving you. Can you believe that? Small things. Shared laughter. Conversations at late hours. Celebrations. Calm moments that haven't happened yet but somehow already feel emotionally familiar. It's as if your energy arrived before your footsteps did. Stay a little longer, because the next part explains why this connection feels so unusually powerful. Your soulmate recently revealed something personal to a family member. Something they had been hiding quietly for a long time. They admitted that before you entered their life emotionally, they had almost stopped believing in meaningful connection altogether. They became guarded. Distracted. Emotionally tired from experiences that lacked depth. But then you appeared. And suddenly, their perspective shifted. Not instantly. Not dramatically. But slowly, deeply, undeniably. The family member listening became emotional after hearing this. Because they realized your presence had restored something inside someone they love. Motivation. Peace. Excitement for the future. Emotional openness that had disappeared for a very long time. That is why these conversations keep happening. You are not being discussed because of surface-level fascination. You are being discussed because your energy changed someone's inner world. And when families witness healing in someone they care about, they pay attention. Before you continue this journey, take a second to comment below what your intuition has been telling you lately. Sometimes the heart notices destiny before the mind understands it. And if these messages continue finding you at exactly the right moment, subscribe and stay connected, because this story unfolding around your life is far from over. Now listen closely. There is still one person in the family who remains cautious. Not negative, just protective. They want to make sure your heart is genuine because they see how emotionally invested your soulmate has become. But even this person has started softening recently. Why? Because authenticity leaves traces. They see the calmness in your soulmate now. The emotional maturity. The patience. The focus. And they know those changes did not happen randomly. One evening, after another long discussion about the future, someone quietly asked your soulmate, "Do you think this person understands how important they've become to you?" Your soulmate paused before answering. Then softly said, "Not yet." That answer carried more emotion than anyone expected. Because somewhere inside, your soulmate feels the connection growing faster than words can explain. They feel timelines shifting. Priorities changing. They feel your presence becoming woven into dreams they once kept entirely private. And the truth is, your soulmate's family is beginning to prepare emotionally for the moment your worlds finally collide in real life. Not because anyone forced it. Not because anyone planned it. But because certain connections become impossible to ignore once they begin transforming everything around them. So if your heart has been restless lately, if your intuition keeps whispering that something life-changing is approaching, trust it. Because somewhere tonight, your soulmate is thinking about you while the people closest to them quietly wonder how one unseen soul managed to leave such a powerful mark on their future. Something unexpected happened after those conversations ended, something quiet, almost invisible, yet powerful enough to change the emotional direction of everything unfolding around you. Long after everyone went to sleep, your soulmate remained awake, replaying every word their family had spoken about you. Not with fear. Not with pressure. But with a strange sense of destiny they could no longer ignore. Because for the first time, the people closest to them were seeing what they already felt deep inside. Your connection was becoming real in a way that could not be hidden anymore. And tonight, that realization feels stronger than ever. Your soulmate started imagining what the actual moment of meeting you fully might feel like. Not the fantasy version. Not the perfect movie scene. But the real moment. The eye contact. The silence before words arrive. The emotional recognition that happens when two souls suddenly understand why every delay, every heartbreak, every confusing season had to happen exactly the way it did. That thought stayed with them for hours. Meanwhile, their family continues noticing little things. The way your soulmate protects your name in conversations. The way they become calmer after talking about you. The way hope appears in their eyes whenever the future is mentioned now. Those details matter more than you realize. Because people do not transform emotionally for something temporary. And somewhere deep down, everyone around them is starting to understand that. One relative recently said something that left the entire room silent. They looked at your soulmate and quietly asked, "What if this person is the beginning of the life you were always meant to have?" No one laughed after hearing that. Because suddenly, it didn't sound impossible. It sounded true. You need to hear this carefully tonight. There are moments in life when destiny does not arrive like chaos. It arrives like recognition. Calm. Clarity. A feeling that something ancient inside your spirit finally exhaled after waiting too long. That is the energy surrounding you now. Your soulmate's family is talking about you because your presence already carries emotional weight in their world. Even without standing beside them physically, you have influenced conversations, emotions, future plans, and dreams that continue expanding day after day. And the most incredible part? Your soulmate has stopped trying to fight it. They are no longer questioning whether this connection matters. Now they are wondering how far it can truly go. Stay until the final moments of this message, because one last truth is waiting for you. A few nights ago, your soulmate had a conversation with someone they trust deeply. During that conversation, they admitted something they had never fully confessed before. They said meeting your energy felt like waking up emotionally after a long period of simply surviving life. Think about the depth of that. You reminded them that life could still feel meaningful. That love could still feel peaceful. That the future could still feel exciting instead of uncertain. And when they spoke those words aloud, the person listening became emotional too. Because they realized your connection was not draining your soulmate. It was healing them. That is why resistance around you keeps disappearing slowly. Even the most cautious people in the family are beginning to soften. They see sincerity growing naturally. They see emotional consistency. They see someone they care about becoming more aligned, more focused, more hopeful than before. Families notice those things immediately. And now, some of them are quietly waiting for the day they finally meet you. Can you imagine that? Somewhere tonight, people you have never spoken to are already curious about your laughter, your voice, your presence, your dreams. They are wondering what kind of soul could create such visible change in someone they love. That curiosity is not fading anymore. It is growing. And your soulmate feels it too. In fact, lately they have been thinking about timing constantly. Wondering when the universe will finally stop delaying what already feels emotionally written. Wondering when conversations about you will become real moments shared beside them instead of distant hopes carried in silence. Because the truth is becoming impossible to deny now. You are no longer just a thought in their mind. You are becoming part of their future. And perhaps the reason this message found you tonight, at this exact moment, is because your own soul already sensed it before your eyes ever read these words.